I'm Michaela. I am a long-term recovering addict. My clean date is May 22nd of 2014. Um, I am today a loving and caring mother, daughter, aunt, sister, and yeah, that's me.
Well, thank you so much for coming out and taking your time out of your busy life to be able to share some of your experience with us. Can you start off by sharing a bit about your childhood?
I feel like I lived a double life. I had it really good at my dad's. At my mom's, she struggled with addiction, and at the time, being so young, I didn't really see that until I got older. But now looking back, like I said, I lived a double life. I had it made there at my dad's, and he, you know, was a hard worker. Not that my mom wasn't. I never went without, but I was also in some pretty bad situations looking back now. Just going to different drug houses. And I was always one that, like, I felt comfortable. They always, it was so weird how it was. They all, like, made me feel comfortable, even though they were all using drugs. My mom took me to this one house in Columbus, and her and this lady, they smoked crack. She had a son. He was about a teenager. I don't know how old. I think I was about maybe 6, 7, around there. But he kind of was like my guardian being there. Like, he looked after me, you know, like a little sister. And so I always felt safe when I did go there. At my dad's, you know, I never wanted to be with my dad. My stepmom, at the time, they're no longer married, was an alcoholic. Definitely treated me like a stepchild. There was a lot of mental, emotional, verbal abuse there with her, and my dad working all the time. I was with her, so I hated it, you know.
Yeah.
Even though I had it made there, at the same time, I wanted to be with my mom. Like I said, I didn't understand what she was going through, but I was getting that love and attention from my mother that I was not getting from my dad, just because he wasn't home. Being with a stepmom, it was hard. I think that's where a lot of trauma first started.
Yeah. So, and are you an only child?
I'm not. So I actually have two younger sisters on my dad's side, and then he had them with my stepmom. And yes, I still refer to her as my stepmom. Obviously, we're in a better spot today. I still have contact with her. And then I have 2 older brothers I'm on my mom's side. So it's like I'm in the middle. Like, I'm an older child there at my dad's, and then at my mom's I'm the youngest.
Right.
So I was really a troubled child, honestly. My mom, like I said, her not being stable when I was younger, I was in and out of different schools, elementary schools. It wasn't until she went to jail and my dad did get custody of me. I want to say I was around 10, 11. And I lived with my dad for a while. And that's where, like, I was in a stable place with school and stuff. But him taking me from her, I started self-harming. I never self-harmed to take my life. I did it because that's how I coped with my pain I was feeling. I also feel like I did it for attention, thinking that would get my way. But it was hard. I was very much judged in school when I did move to my dad's. So that took a toll on me too.
Yeah, absolutely. And having some of that emotional distress, not having coping skills, I mean, that's tough. It is. So, So when did you first start experimenting with alcohol or drugs?
So actually, I moved in with my mom about 14. I had a big tantrum. My dad finally just said, go live with your mom. So I moved in with her, and honestly, I feel like that's where life started going in like a backward spiral. Because she was trying to play my friend and not being the parent, the mother. So I got pregnant at 15, had my oldest son at 16. And his dad, he was like my first everything. But it didn't work. He wasn't ready to be a father. And I would say at that time, I was a really good mom, even being so young. But I fought postpartum, and he was about, I want to say, in between 7-8 months, and me and him, we decided it wasn't going to work. So I got with somebody, and that's when I was introduced to drugs. Cocaine. So I was about 16, almost 17 when that started. I didn't like the way I felt, but then he gave me a Percocet, and that was it. That's where it took off. That was the high that I loved.
What feeling did it give you? What did it do for you?
It took all the pain away that I was feeling from not just the postpartum, but the fact that my son's dad was just like not really stepping up. And I mean, I was heartbroken for my son, obviously. And the fact that he lost his dad himself at a young age. So I was just really like shocked. Like, why wouldn't you want to be here? And you know what was crazy is my mom at the time, she was, she had years clean. So when she was already dealing with it from my brother, which when I did first try the cocaine, it was with the guy I was with and my brother at the same time. And he's always struggled as well. So she's already, dealt with it with him. And then she, I told her I didn't feel good one day. And she was like, well, are you sick? I was like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. And sure enough, when I got my hands on a Perk 30, I was back to myself. And I was addicted to those for, I want to say, just about a year. And I did try to quit. Well, then I turned to heroin. It was cheaper, gave me a better high, because at that point I was just doing Percocets to feel better,
Yeah. Not get sick.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So that's when things really started getting bad, obviously, when I started using heroin.
So what consequences did you encounter through your addiction?
I lost my kids. And I took a charge, a cocaine charge, possession. I actually got that at 17, and I was close to 18, so they waited to charge me when I was an adult. So I feel like I was in and out of jail, rehab. Honestly, I finally got a PO that pushed me. She wanted to see me succeed. She had that, like, she encouraged me. She had that determination, like, you don't need to end up in jail or, you know, dead or whatever. Like, she gave me chance after chance. I'm very grateful for that because I very well could have been in prison. But what got it is I was clean. I was, you know, trying to do better. I was still trying to live that fast life, though. I was trying to still hang out with same people, the dope boys, you know, all of that too. I'd say fit in. So I ended up at the wrong place at the wrong time. I got knocked out by a man, and my jaw was fractured. I was in the hospital for about a week. They wired my mouth shut, and at that point, you know, I've had a lot of rock bottoms, but that point is where I was like, because I very well could have just lost my life there that night. Mm-hmm. But that point was a breaking point for me, and I was just like, you know, I'm done. It's time to leave this town, everything behind, and I'm very grateful for everyone that stuck by me, because if it wasn't for people just kind of at the drop of a hat helping me get out of there, I would probably still be stuck, you know. Because I was on Vivitrol at the time. She told me, you know, you're at your year mark of Vivitrol, and she's like, you just need to get out of this town. She even said that. Mm-hmm. You need to get out of this town. Mm-hmm. So
where'd you go?
I went to Delaware. Okay. And I lived with my dad. My dad helped me get on my feet. I got a job. I was working 7 days a week.
What kind of work did you do?
I actually worked at the corner market in Delaware. I was working at a gas station, truck stop type of thing. But I worked pretty much every day to keep myself busy, keep my mind off of stuff. And he helped me get an apartment. So he helped me quite a bit financially until I could get on my feet.
Did you get your children back, custody back of your children?
So actually, I did get custody back of Braylon. And that just recently happened about, it's been 4 years. 4 years now.
Okay.
So, and like I said, he was with my mom, so she never kept him away from me. She always told me, you know, when you get your life together, get stable, you can have him back. And that's what happened. I met my husband while working at the corner market. He's taken on Braylon as his own. And that's when, like, my mom loves Kyle, my husband, and she just could see how much he's helped me, supported me, and that's where she was like, okay, here you go. And then my middle son, I'm still fighting for him, and it's something oh my God. I hate talking about this. Because I've proved myself to the court. I've done everything. I've stayed clean. I got my oldest son back. I have my now 3-year-old that I had with my husband. I've raised him since he was a baby. And I won't give up fighting for him. I get visitation, but it just sucks because I still don't feel complete. And it's a struggle every day, you know. Even being a recovering addict, I still...
Yeah, that's tough.
I have my struggles, you know. Life isn't perfect when, you know, you think you're doing everything right. There's still things that you deal with, and it's a challenge, and I get tested every day, by God. I do have an awesome therapist that I talk to, and she helps me quite a bit when it comes to coping. My biggest thing is keeping my mind busy. I am a stay-at-home mom, but I also work part-time as a server. I think, life is short, and as much as it hurts that I don't have him, and as much as I feel like giving up, I gotta look at the here and the now and what I got, and I'm just like very blessed that I can still raise my other kids and be a good wife, mother, I feel like those are my biggest motivations to, do what I need to do to stay clean. But I feel like staying in contact with a lot of recovering addicts has helped.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, my mom, I have her. Sometimes it's hard to talk to her because she's just my mom.
Right, absolutely.
But and even her friends, they are there for me, and I'm there for them, and yeah, I think that's a lot of it, really.
Yeah, absolutely, that support, and that's one of the purposes of this project, is showing that people find freedom and recovery and rebuild their lives in all sorts of different ways.
Absolutely.
And there's not one pathway that works for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned being on Vivitrol, like being able to have medications that can be helpful for for the rest of somebody's life or for a period of time, depending on what the person needs. So that's pretty spectacular. Could you share a certain feeling that you have in recovery that wasn't there in active addiction?
Self-love, for sure. I can look at myself, and even on the hard days, like, you are beautiful inside and out. So I got "This too shall pass" as a tattoo on my wrist, and I always look at that. I just live by that, just because even being clean, I struggle, and I'm just like, I don't get those like cravings like I used to or whatever, but I still have those days where I'm just like, oh, maybe life would be better if I was just numbing myself again. But that's where I'm like, no, this is just temporary feelings, and it's a bad day, not a bad life. Everyone has their own story, It's just like, life is beautiful when it's not blurry, Sometimes it's like I said, I still struggle, but you know what? I'm so glad today I'm not chasing that high, because that's more work. I'm glad I don't have to wake up sick. I'm glad I can wake up and fix my kids' breakfast and watch them play with a clear mind. Everything that I went through has made me the woman, the mother, the friend, daughter, all that has made me that today. And I feel like it only makes us stronger,
Yes.
What doesn't kill us will make us stronger. So
That's for sure.
that's it.
Well, thank you so much for coming out of your busy life and spending some time with us. Your story is definitely going to help somebody who's out there that's struggling.
Absolutely.
Thank you.